Hey guys, this is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? Amish mindset. If you get anything from my work, on my drop, moment, a new author to read, a new book to explore, please consider supporting my work. Well, the information will be linked down below. And I really want to thank everybody who has contributed, helped me, and all of it. And we're going to do a spiritual soul advice, but more of an update on my situation, why I haven't been posting the last few days, what crazy shit has taken place, and then I'll get into more of where I want to take my conversation. So I closed on my house today. I'm feeling very indifferent. Things are going to definitely look up and look positive. I still have to wait. Still have to wait. And that costs money. But I'm going to be okay. New York City rapes people for extraordinary amounts of money. It's bananas how much my house sold for and how much I got. So they had a final walkthrough the other day, and I was planning to do Manly P. Hall, which I might do after this video. And walkthrough, I took 2 days to literally clean, continuously pack. I don't have much left to do. I just have to take nails off the wall and like hinges and stupid nuancy crap. I still have to live here, so I still need, certain things out and opened and not boxed. And then I have to afford to buy the boxes, right? So I haven't been able to do too much because I still, again, have nothing and I have to feed myself and I have to get around. So today was like a good step in the right direction with that, though they did a walkthrough and they brought a construction person because they want to, make a lot of changes to the house, which I agree they need to do. But I told them my cats are not in their crates, they're out. Like, please make sure that if you open up the garage door that you shut it, make sure that the outside stuff is shut because there was a lot of people in my house. And the guy came into the bedroom where my bed still is so that the cats can hide underneath. And the guy was like moving everything, and Ethan kind of ran out and away to go hide in another spot. And because there's so many people, I don't even know where he went. Morgan got freaked out, but I saw where she went. She went to my first floor, but she hid in the boxes. The garage door happened to be open. I didn't realize that they didn't close the garage door all the way. And maybe he was hiding in the garage in the box. Happens to be that the cat left the house. And I was devastated when they left. They took almost 2 hours in this house. They sat at my kitchen table like it was a coffee clutch. And I was like, I get the walkthrough concept. This is the first time I'm doing this, but like, and they're going through my drawers looking for pens. I'm like, first of all, I still live here. It's still my house until until we close. I don't welcome you into my stuff. If you need a pen, ask. I'll get it for you. I still have my banking business and bills and stuff out for, I hid them and it went in a drawer and I was pissed. By the time they left and the time I understood that the garage door was open, and I looked everywhere for him. I then closed the garage door and was devastated. And I had to go out and look and walk around. And then I took my car and I went around the neighborhood because we have a lot of parks and trees and we have a pool area. I mean, all locked. So I couldn't even climb a fence to get him if I saw him, but he wouldn't let me get him. A friend, a few friends did post on Facebook, and I really am thankful for them for that. I was just done and spent at that point because, you know, lesson learned, crate the cats, but that causes Ethan more anxiety. And I already know what that anxiety is going to be like for him to be in a car for a very long time. So I don't want to put him through unnecessary shit. I put a litter box in my garage. I opened up the door. I put some food, and I was sitting there, you know, trying to calm myself down. And finally, I heard the bull move, and he came back. Don't know where he went because I looked everywhere outside. He came back, and I'm very, very thankful for the universe for that. So that was literally the other day. My whole day was shot. My nerves were shot. I was hysterical. I was upset. These things happen. So then today, on the phone, you know, getting back. I had to go to Brooklyn and I had to come back here. And then I called the bank, and the guy that I had opened up an account with was like, "Hey, I'm leaving at 3:15. Can you get here anytime?" Yes, I'm on my way right now. So everything is now in the bank. They still owe me money. There's some stuff in escrow, but that all depends upon here, how long I stay here. So I also emailed the agent that I'm working with in the state I'm going to, and I'm basically like, hey, you know, not all the funds are going to clear until December, the beginning of it. So I'm kind of stuck. You know, you can't put any bids on a house just yet, but you know, the closer it gets, I'm going to get up there. Praying there's really good weather and that I can find a storage facility, movers, coordinating all that in a long stay hotel or motel or Airbnb, which I haven't had any success on Airbnb, to block out a month. And I still don't have the funds to do that now, right? It's not, I have really nothing right now. Yeah, I still have bills to pay and stuff that I have to do because I have to keep the electric, the heat, the gas, all that on. So it's been very incredible, but very anxious and nervous and crazy energy. So I do apologize to everybody. I haven't been on, and I'm definitely going to have a leave of absence, not necessarily for a long period of time, but like for a few days here and there. I should be doing more readings and stuff the next few days. I'm trying to pace myself. I killed my back and I killed my body, taking the heavier boxes from my third floor to my first floor. It is exhausting. It hurts. So I just, you know, again, this is my journey and I'm trying to take you all with me on this journey. And I'm very thankful for everybody that kept me alive. I'm not going to lie. Last year around this time, I had a meltdown. I had like the midlife crisis, and I'm not in the 50s. I'm going to be in 40 in April. And I had one of those moments last year where I didn't know what was up, what was down. I was freaking out, and rightly effing so. This world is going to change. So today was like one of those, I know I have a better future somewhere else. It's just getting there and getting things settled in this crazy winter time is, you know, something I don't want to do. It's not easy, especially with a car that doesn't drive in the snow. So, yeah. But I'm going to make it happen. The universe is behind me. I know that. Today went off without a hitch. So I can breathe a little bit now for the next few days until some funds open up, and it's not enough funds to put on the house. It's just enough funds to get me through for a little bit. So I do thank everybody for keeping me alive. I really, really sincerely thank everybody for doing that. It's not easy. It's not easy. And where I want to steer this conversation with the spiritual soul advice, I just watched a podcast with Katie Rain and Nick Sylvester, Robert and Brelly, Scott Stone. Sorry, guys. I'm like still chaos. So I watched that, and they Katie is especially Katie because I love her, but she hit on some points today that I really feel like needs to be conveyed, but on a more Allison scale. We need to ask for help from upstairs, but from the Earth Alliance. If you're a starseed, if you know that you are, we need the truth, and it needs to come out, and they're waiting on us to ask for that help. So we need to ask for help now, like not tomorrow, not yesterday, now. And you could do that with your intention. Katie explained, just telepathically put it out there that, hey, White Hats, Alliance, Starfleet, whatever, we need help and we want the truth out now. Please answer the call. It's very important. And, you know, as many people are coming and talking about the truth in whatever capacity they're talking about it in, a lot of us have been speaking and seeding each and every one of you for a very long time. And we've all been doing it to our family and friends and people in our communities. During the madness with the cat, and this is why I brought up the story, they brought their little girl. She's 5. Her name is Alice. She's a cute little kid. And I had a conversation, but I also was reading her energy. As much as people might think that there was some nefariousness going on with the sale of my house, and I definitely know there was, and maybe the parents are not 100%, the little girl is. She's going to take up my job as the gatekeeper in my house. She's going to be the next one to inherit that Stargate. And what hit me harder with the conversation I heard on today's podcast with Kevin Hoyt, forgot her name, sorry, Kevin. It's the kids. They're the starseeds. They're the advanced souls that are here. And I know that many of my friends that might watch me that aren't into the things that I usually, you know, talk about, they're noticing that their kids are different. Their kids might remember a past life, or they might see the friend that is invisible. They might have nightmares, not realizing what experiences they're having is real in their sleep state, in their astral body. A lot of these kids have come in already upgraded. They're waiting on us. Again, not our fault that the world has been upside down world and clown world forever. We didn't ask for this, especially 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s babies. Many of us, I think, were the heaviest indoctrinated and heaviest in mind control. Many of us grew up outside, going and playing with our friends, but it started in school. And then it started with the television and and just about everything. There's not too many people in my age group that are even aware that, yeah, so paying $6 for a carton of eggs is normal, right? The gas prices here are going up again. Normal, right? That's all normal. And people are very complacent about it. I know that there's a plan. I understand that, but when you live in a place that's a social experiment for the rest of the world to be dictated about, it's very hard because you're seeing it firsthand. I am seeing it every day, how complacent people are because it's a rat race and everybody's stuck in that mind frame. And yes, we still need money to survive. I don't like that concept. I don't like the energy money gives off. I don't like how people use it for greed or to manipulate or to take advantage of others. It's all about money. Instead, it should be about energy and it should be about give and take. It doesn't work like that in our society right as we speak. The kids are being affected even more in states that are still continuously on this indoctrination loop. It's not the kids' fault. And there are a lot of special kids out there who hold very vital and high-ended roles, spiritually speaking. And we're the ones who need to be the best examples for them. They're going to learn from us and then they're going to teach us. Can't have that if we're not stepping up to the plate and realizing what we need to do. We need to put boots on the ground. We really need Amish mindset. We need to start waking people up. And that could be in whatever truth that you believe that is true. But if you look at the paradigm that we're going through right now and the shifts and the energy shifts, there was a large spike to different types of large spikes today. And I felt them all day long. I was in an emotional wreck, but my nerves are shot. My nerves are shot. I was talking to my aunt earlier and she's like, you've just been through a hell of a lot. She's like, people at your age don't go through everything that you went through and you did it by yourself. It's hard, I know where my parents are and I'm fine with that, but it still sucks losing them. Still sucks seeing them die. Can't take the human part of those things out of my experience. They're there. I'm human. I can't take back the past and I can't take back the fact that I made those choices because it's all in divine blueprint that I arranged for myself. We all arrange these things for each other. We arrange the people that we meet, the people that we get experiences with. All of it's to teach us or us to teach them. We all made these arrangements. And the hardest part is the kids, because they're not there yet. There's an inept knowing from a lot of them. I know a lot of my friends are, that do see intuitives. They are being told their kids are advanced. And they need to catch up to the kids. There's a lot of different schools that are going to be created in the next couple of years. There's already one. Sherry Devan has one that's online. It's spiritual school for kids. It's teaching kids how to use their abilities and to be comfortable with them. I grew up in a time where that wasn't necessarily out in the open. It wasn't acceptable. My parents had no freaking clue why I saw things and I shut it down. Not that I shut it down, I just didn't talk about it. I saw really demonic shit in my life. I saw very evil, horrible things. I became insensitive to it because I couldn't talk about it. People thought I was crazy. The invisible friends I had were not of the light. And that was all to teach me about both sides of the coin. Kids don't understand that, but we have better tools now than we did back when I was a kid. And we have more social acceptance to the light, to understanding the spiritual war that is happening, to understand we're all one and the same, to understanding that the kids are the key here. It's why I did the job and the work that I have done. And I am so passionate about going back wherever I'm moving and hoping that there's a job for me, waiting for me, that I can teach or be a para. Again, I love that job, helping kids. It never was about the money for me. I didn't make much. Teachers here made triple the amount that I was making, but that didn't matter to me. My life doesn't run on money. Get to sustain. You know, I was never a bridesmaid in a wedding. I was never anything special to anybody. At friend wise, I never got asked to do anything. I never was I'm not a godmother to anybody's child. I grew up being misunderstood, being the hermit, and very much in hermitdom now. And it's not to say I don't reach out to people. I talk to people all the time. It's just in the physical contact. I don't have that much. And a lot of us are going through that. And a lot of, I don't have children, but the kids that I had impacted in my life are my children in the outer sense. I was shielding them and protecting them from the things that they couldn't see or understand. We're still in a spiritual war. I see and seeing a lot of people still getting attacked. We all have to be aware of these things. And even if you're not of the spiritual way, it still exists. No matter what religion you follow, no matter what God you pray to, or what deity you call, it's all of the one. So it doesn't necessarily matter, right? We have to stop judging. And the reason why I say that is because that impacts a child. I was a different sort of child, and I was heavily accused of doing things that I never practiced. I was scolded for having a dream journal and writing some very, very, very dark shit. I couldn't tell my friends what the things that I saw and the things that I was interested in, they weren't. That's many of us. But now that's the kids growing up now. There's a lot of kids not interested in video games or certain types of video games. They're very interested in like role action play, like World of Warcraft. There's just so many other games out there, but then they're not interested in what everybody else is interested in, is what I'm trying to say. There are kids that are gravitating towards gems. They love the going to the metaphysical store if you have them all by you and you have like an East meets West or, one of those stores that have gems. They're fascinated by that. Those are the type of kids that we need to protect even more so than ever. The spiritual war, they're attacking the light workers like nonstop. I've been held back, and I know it's in divine timing. I get that, but I know that the dark side has been holding me back from my purpose. They've been trying to dim my light since I was 3. And I know I'm not alone in that, and many of you have felt probably very similar. This experience that I just went through, this whole journey of losing my job and not knowing where to go next, I'm not alone. There are many of you who have it probably way worse, and it's not a comparison. We shouldn't be comparing. Everybody's experience is valid. Like I've said in a bunch of videos, we can't, everybody responds to situations and things differently. And to invalidate somebody's feelings because, oh, someone has it worse than you. Well, someone has it better than me. What are you trying to prove? That I shouldn't feel bad, that my experience is invalid? Just stop doing that. We should all acknowledge each other's feelings and acknowledge that the harder parts of the world and the harder parts of life, many of us go through them because we're the ones that are going to help the other people out. A lot of us are in the transition team. I know I am. I know that when I lost my mom, a lot of people are like, you took that pretty well. What am I going to do? I'm by myself. I can sit here and cry and mourn and lose the will to live, or find a purpose and go for it. And I chose to find a purpose and go for it. I know my mom is protecting me. I know she's around all the time. Not everybody has that ability, and not everybody has that knowing and understanding. We need to comfort people in their situations, and we need to have boots on the ground now and start helping people. I've been trying to say this for a year now, that we really all need to come together as communities, no matter if it's online or in person, to do something, the Amish mindset. What can you do once a day to help another person out? And again, that could be a click of a like, a share, a subscribe, a repost. That could be having shopping small, local businesses, local entrepreneurs that have a small little store in the mall or an online store. They might make jewelry. Why don't you support them, or at least repost on your social media? Maybe someone might, oh, that's a perfect gift for a friend. Spirit works in really interesting ways. Very interesting ways. By supporting a small business, you're also supporting the children. Because most people who have children have small businesses because they're trying to make the ends meet to help their kids. We all need to be, and especially the holiday times too, we need to be very, especially humbling towards our little kids. They don't know, or they do know, they're not verbalizing it, or they can't verbalize it, that their world was just shaken up for the last 3 years. They had to separate. They had to be on social. They had to watch the adults go fucking banana nuts over bullshit. And not to take away anybody's passing or death, or be sensitive to people who have had really bad flu or really bad sickness and illnesses, not taking away any of that. But to knowing the honest truth about it. The kids know that there was something wrong. They just couldn't put their finger on it. And they got heavily affected more than I think anybody else. They had to watch their parents lose their jobs. They had to watch their parents suffer. And in fact, they suffered as well, because mommy and daddy can't now afford to buy you the toy. And not to say it's about toys, but maybe they wanted a book, or maybe they wanted an experience, and you couldn't give it to them because you couldn't afford the gas to get there. Oh, you're hungry. We don't have any more snacks in the house. Go drink some water. We in America, we take a lot of things for granted. There's third world countries, but those are the experience those souls signed up for. Then a lot of people still can't grasp and handle that. But everybody signs up for their experience. But that doesn't mean that we are here acknowledging that we can't make things better for the next generations and for ourselves. We enable and help ourselves, we're enabling and helping the next generation and the kids that come after them. Can't do that if we're not asking for help. I think it's very important that we all start seeding our truths, our knowledge to other people in whatever way you can do it. I know my girl from Food and Spirits, she's going to probably have her channel out and I'm going to promote it because she's amazing. She goes into her local grocery store and she seats people all day long with the blunt New York attitude, and I love it. I do the same thing today. The realtor and me and the people in the attorney's office talking crypto, talking about what do you think is gonna happen? Oh, I know what's gonna happen. Are you gonna believe me? You know, talking about and seeding the truth. You know, talking about the Articles of Confederation, talking about the occupation. I could see so much, but it's up to the ears to hear and the eyes to see. And not everybody's there yet. And that's okay. It's all, again, divine timing. But those of us who are awake and who are aware of the things going on around in the world, energetically, on a spiritual level, on the political level, on the galactic level, we really need to start helping all the kids, because all the kids are around the kids with the star seeds. And not to say those other kids aren't special. Oh, they are, and they all have a purpose. The starseed kids are being attacked, and we need to stop it. All kids are being attacked on multi-dimensional levels. And it's for us to stand up and to make a difference. And what we need to do is call for help. We need to start seeding more and more and more people. Be more loud and proud about your truth. I didn't want to close on my house today. Not because I didn't want my move, and not because I didn't want to go to a new location. It's because it's over a fucking allergy. It's over the wrong thing. I always wanted to move. I was redoing my house in order to move and to get the best price for my house. The universe said, nope. Nope. We're going to do it our way, not your way. Happened for a reason. Didn't make it any easier. It's still not going to be easy. I have to hope that the universe works with me in getting a storage facility and getting movers and coordinating a hotel all at the same time and planning it all out, where then I can drop keys off and everything goes smoothly. So far, nothing really has gone smooth after Ethan running out of the house. That was a disaster. That was crazy. And then I'm going to still be in limbo. I'll be able to do my book readings and stuff because I'm going to be in a hotel room all day long. You know, if I'm not looking at houses and signing documents, I'm going to be in a hotel room. So I'm going to be doing a lot from you know, on the scene in the hotel, but there's going to be some in-betweens here and there where I'm going to be absent from this channel. So I hope that if I am, if you can still find a video that you would like to share and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It's going to take me some time to find a job, and I have to rewrite a new resume. I have to like move into a house, and that, you know, the process is, it took 3 months. I'm hoping this next move is a lot less than that. Um, and I don't want to be as depleted because I have a lot of work I would like to do. Um, and this is what's going to hold down my future and keep me afloat until I could get a job. So that takes time as well. So supporting the channel not only gets the truth out, not only spreads wisdom and helps other people, because when they find the other videos that I do, it helps them, but it's also going to help the children. Because once you are aware of what your truth is and seeing what is going on in the world, you could put an end to that. The kids want the truth. They haven't had it. They haven't been told. The kids want the change. They know something's off. They know something's coming. They know it. The little 5-year-old girl, her energy was screaming at me. She knew it. She couldn't talk. She didn't really know English. But her energy was screaming. Like, I'm going to be ready when it's time, right? Yes, you are. You have a big role to play on this world, little one. And you're going to be okay. You're going to take up what I had to deal with my whole life. But it's going to be better for you. Because I left it that way. We have to do the same thing for all the kids. We need to be the beacons of light. We need to be able to communicate with them, get on their level. You know, if they talk about the invisible friend, well, where did that invisible friend come from? Oh, I love all your gems. Allow them to explore them. You know, I hated when the kids used to pluck them back, but a lot of the kids just rubbed them and started feeling the vibrations that each one, each of the gems had. And, I used to say, oh, do you feel it? What do you feel? Tell me about it. Let your kids explore. When you go to a metaphysical store, they probably don't want you having a kid's hand like up there. But if your kid is mature enough to handle a store like that and not get overwhelmed by all the incense and the, sage, definitely go in there and see how they feel. See what they're drawn to. Don't deny them that stuff. There are things that are outside of, kid age appropriate stuff. Yes, there's metaphysical tools that are not necessarily age appropriate, but there are a lot of things that are, and gems are one of them. The kids love gems. They want to explore Earth and the minerals from Earth, and a lot of them pick up on the vibrations. Let them play with it. Have them understand that you can't have fun like that. But it would be a very interesting trip for those who feel like your kid might be a little different. There are going to be a lot more kids coming into this world that have these abilities, that have the understanding that they can see beyond the veil. And it's not something to be afraid of. Even if it might be evil, it's nothing to be afraid of because you don't want to give it your power. I was never afraid of what I saw. I was curious as a little kid. I didn't let it bother me. Yeah, did some stuff jump at me? And yeah, of course. Would for anybody. But I wasn't scared in terms of, oh, stupid evil demon, get away from me. A lot of spiritual kids don't have spiritual parents, especially the ones that are sleepy. So we need to be cognizant of that. And we just have to seed the little kid knowing that they're going to be okay. and we're working on it. We're going to give you a better future. That's our role. A lot of people have been seeing the future, and it's glorious, it's beautiful, it's fabulous, as my friend from Food and Spirits would say, Miss Lisa. We can't get there if we don't ask for the help and if we don't put action into motion in doing that. Sitting idly by is not an option anymore. I was already upset and pissed off that there wasn't enough people marching with the nurses and the teachers at the rallies in the city. Whether you're vaxxed or not, you should have stood up with people who had a firm no, because that's just it's a choice. But you shouldn't lose your job over a choice. And the fact of the matter is that most of all of you, that took that got sick anyway. I haven't gotten it yet. What does that tell you? I was no threat to anybody. And I lost everything that I earned and worked very hard for. And I lost everything that my parents earned and worked very hard for. And nothing was handed to them and nothing was handed to me. I just happened to pick the right family to leave me enough to start my life over again. Not everybody's that lucky. And it really sucks. Especially now during the holiday time. I want to reimagine and recreate what holidays are. It should be unity and coming together. My neighbor had a Friendsgiving. She invited me over. She's like, I really want you to come over and you're going to eat. And I ate. It's probably the most I had all year. And we had games. She had, games out. And we played some games. All of us little older ladies chuckling and having a good time. It was really nice. It was a really nice experience to have, and I thank her for that. We need that. Holidays, whether you want, from the religious standpoint, non-religious, indigenous, be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for the people that walk in your life that are the angels that help you, because I sure am. I would be dead, done, if I didn't have the people that came and helped me throughout this whole journey. Really, I would have been dead. I lost hope in humanity, and I got my humanity back by the good graces and will of people who took a chance on a stranger that they didn't know. And they helped me out enough to get me by each and every month. A lot of my people, my acquaintances, my friends, saw how much I put into having to be on the phone all day to try to just get services. How many scam jobs that I, and jobs that just never worked out. It wasn't in my divine blueprint to have them. That's why it didn't work out, but it's not the lack of trying to get a job. People like, hey, you want to clean my house? I'll give you some money. Sure. Hey, you want to watch my dog? Absolutely. I need some extra cash. I need to eat. I need to keep the electric on. It's not easy. It's the little things that people do for you on a daily basis that make every minute and every second matter. And I'm very grateful for that. And I hope that now during this Thanksgiving season, people come back to that awareness and that understanding of what you have and be grateful for it, because it can go in that. And I sure know, because just about everything I have went like that. Is either give it up or don't eat. No one should have to go through that. Not over something so petty and fake. We are going to do better for our children. Even if you don't have children, they're still going to be your future. We got indoctrinated with that BS too. The next generation is going to be the ones taking care of you. It is in fact true. But they weren't aware that they were also indoctrinated, and they had their own, systematic things of doing things. And this is how we did it. So you're going to do it this way. And, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer. And it just sets the kid up for failure, because the biggest lesson I think my parents took away from this lifetime was I was the biggest challenge for them, because I was so different from them. They loved me nonetheless. They gave me the room to explore my spirituality, to explore and just to do me, just be me. And I'm very thankful for that. But the biggest test for them was to give up that control of having to need me to be something that I wasn't. That I was an artist, and my father hated the idea that he had to he gave me no ultimatum. I had to go to college. Well, then here's my ultimatum. I'm going to go to the college of my choice. Where do you want to go? I went to the School of Visual Arts. Why? It's art school. I'm like, you want to send me to college? I'm going to the college that I'm fit for. That my talents are going to be thriving. That I just made it seriously in high school. I just made it. I wasn't the smartest kid in high school. I dyslexic. I had a lot of learning challenges as a child. I didn't do bad. I 89.9 GPA. I don't think that was terrible to end off on high school on. It wasn't a 90. It wasn't Arista. It wasn't, I wasn't an honor kid. But I wasn't stupid. But they made me feel that way. When I went to college, I thrived. Thrived. The highest GPA I got was a 3.8. I wasn't a 4.0 student. And to be honest with you, it's art school, right? Unless you're a Rembrandt or, a Pablo Picasso or a Basquiat, you're not really ever getting a 4.0. In my other classes, I didn't do well in metaphysics. I'm not going to lie. I didn't really grasp the concepts that were being given, because they weren't the concepts that I was interested in. It was Rene Descartes. And understanding the philosophy part of metaphysics. But I really took challenging classes that I didn't do well in, but I enjoyed, and that I took a lot away from after the fact. I made it out of college with a 3.5 with a nomination of honors, and that is huge, huge for me. My parents were very proud of that. They didn't like the idea that I went to art school, but I went to a privileged one, went to a very notable one. But they saw the talent as a kid. They saw my drawings. They saw what I was capable of. And going to that school was more about the experience that I needed to have. It was about understanding how to deconstruct the stupidest pieces of shit artwork, no offense to anybody, and criticizing it, but criticizing it in a constructive manner, not in a depleting, nasty manner. It was looking and analyzing the motive of operandi of why someone made a sculpture. Why did somebody take this paint and splatter it on a canvas? Anybody could do that. Why are they famous? Why am I not? Right? But there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that's why. But if you look at artists, They didn't make it until after their death. Their value and their worth was worth nothing for the most part during the 19th century until they died. That has to change. There's brilliant artists out there, and there are a lot of them children. A lot of them are children. You know, some of them are just skilled in that one thing. But if someone could mentor them and say, hey, why don't you try something else? Let's reimagine something with your technique, but let's reimagine something else so you can grow your skills, right? You know, everybody's now splattering paint with the epoxy resin and like, ooh, look, it's all acidy looking, great, right? But I bet you if you did it in another way that no one else has done it or thought about it, this is where we have to start braiding off your expertise and helping other people reimagine what they are doing, if their acceptance to that, and launch them forward. You know, the little kids always love watching me draw. I'm like, let me see what you can draw. You know, and I hope that when I get into my situation and I could actually have an office and a desk and a more, you know, different setup than this plain Jane shit. I would love to do motivational paintings and drawings and have everybody join me. That's something I'm looking into. I'd love to do that. What can we recreate today? Get your thought process to change. Get your vision of what, you know, everybody does. Oh, I want to look like Van Gogh because Van Gogh is awesome. I love Van Gogh. His method's very similar to mine. But now how can we reimagine what he's done and the technique he used, and how could you do it and make it different, but be an inspiration of his? You don't want to steal other people's things, right? You know, if you're a baker and you make bread, you know, sometimes you throw some flavoring on there that no one else has really ever done before. That's how you can you know, or you braid the bread a little differently, the dough, or you add something to it that, you know, no, why would you do that? Well, maybe I'm reimagining this, you know, bread I'm creating. You know, you can be very inventive with food. You can be very inventive with anything that you want to create. You have to be original and create it and put it out into the universe. And this is what we need to teach the kids to do. The kids are going in and memorizing, and memorization, I think, is important for anybody because we need to understand the past in order not to repeat it. So they do need to understand and learn about the past, and that is memorization. But having kids exploring their own talents, not knocking their, you know, those squigglies, because those squigglies one day will become something bigger and better. Don't deny your kid their passion. If they're into music and, you know, they're just, it flows, put different instruments. They, you know, if you only expose them to one thing, they might be talented in something else. You never know. We need to reimagine this world in order to move forward in it, because it's a new consciousness. It's unity consciousness is coming together and working together. How can we help these children and ourselves at the same time? We need to get more inventive. We need to reimagine the things that worked in the old paradigm, and we need to shift it into the new paradigm. We can't take the old systems and ways of doing things that didn't work and think we're going to reimagine them to make it better. But if they didn't work here, they're not going to work here. Let's take what works back here, but recreate it, reimagine it, make a DIY project out of it and make it work. can't take the things that didn't work in 3D to 5D. We have to take what works from here, the things that we know, and make it better and different. This is what the kids are waiting for. This is the awakening the kids need. They need to be creative. They need to be expressive. They need to get out of whatever this whole crapshoot is happening right now. We need more unity. We need more family time. Kids definitely need more time with their family. Try to read more books to your kids. Try to do an art project with your kids. The best moments of my job was sitting at a table with the kids and playing. It was the best time to sit there and just do my own painting, get my own stress out, draw a little bird, color it in. The kids were being amazed. I'm like, but I want you to draw a birdie for me. Why don't you draw a bird? Why don't you do something creative for me? And then they would sit there as I'm drawing, then they're starting to draw. It was a beautiful experience, and it made me so happy that they were being expressive, that they were using their imaginations. A lot of kids don't use their imagination anymore. They can't sit still and think. They always need some self-gratification. They can't sit still. And it's not because they have anything wrong with them. It's because they're overstimulated from the world that we brought them into. It's constant competition. Well, my mommy got me that iPhone and this, I'm playing like 5 hours on, Fortnite, and then the kids feel left out. Well, we got to make new norms for kids. How about I read Harry Potter? Like some of the kids in the school I worked at, they were like challenging each other to, how many chapters did you read in Harry Potter? Okay, that's a great challenge, by the way. That's a competition I would love to see kids do. How many chapters of a book did you read? And not to say that there's kids that are slower readers, but it gives them more of a momentum to better their reading skills. Right? Having the kids talk about books, having the kids draw, having the kids just be self-expressive. It's very important. And we need to start feeding that more and more. I have a kitty loaf over here. We need to do a lot of work. And I know each and every one of us has a mission and a purpose here. And we're going to be doing our missions and we're going to be doing our work, but keep the kids in mind. I think that's very important to keep the kids in mind. Because we're on our own journey and we're learning every day new things about ourselves and coping mechanisms. I know for myself, this experience had to happen because when other people hit rock bottom, I hope that doesn't happen anymore. But if it does, I'll be able to help somebody, talk them through what I had to go through, and try to mentor people on ways of things that worked for me. It might not work for you, but here's what worked for me, right? If more and more people do that, more and more people step to the plate and see that someone's struggling in a group chat, or you're watching a video and there's a live chat, somebody makes a comment that resonates with you, always acknowledge that stuff. It's very important that we have more support systems, that we don't feel alone, even though if we're in the physical that we're alone. It's very important that we have those people giving us the backup. And it's very important that the kids see it, because they're only watching, and that's how they learn it, by watching, analyzing, and observing what is around them. We have to give them more of a supportive atmosphere to learn from. Can't do that if the adults are not playing nice in the sandbox. It's true though. Kids mimic behavior, and they mimic people that sometimes aren't the best role models. Well, we need to give these children better role models. And we need to be doing that more often in more public spaces to be more giving, random acts of kindness. If you have the extra, and a lot of people don't right now, but even if it's just a smile, a compliment, that shows the kids and around your environment that you care about other people and you want to put smiles on other people's faces. And that's contagious. And those kids are going to start doing that. And other people are going to start doing that. We got to make contagious a good, happy word where we're spreading love and joy and happy thoughts, but seeding the truth. And the truth is brutal. The truth sucks, but we need it in order to move forward and to learn from it. And so it doesn't repeat again. And the only way we're going to do that is if it comes out. So call upstairs, say we need help. Just on the last note, I have a lot of videos. I don't know what my days are all askew right now. Losing Ethan was a freaking mind fuck for me. And then closing today took all day, going to the bank. Now I'm going to be on the phone and emailing and going back and forth with all these places and entities and people. It's a lot. So I'm going to try to do what I can when I can do it. Okay. And when I'm on the road and when I get to my new spot for the limbo period, the in between, I definitely will be doing a lot more videos on that account because guess what? I'm going to just be looking at houses and doing what I was just doing now. Be doing it in the person. So I will definitely be out doing that, but there might be a few days where you don't see me. Don't worry, I'm alive, I hope. I'm sorry if I haven't gotten to people's emails and other things. It's just been a crazy town here. I'm going to catch up. And I hope to do a few more readings and things before I have to shut my internet off. And I'm hoping that I have like a day or two gap and that's it. I'm hoping, right? So I just want to leave you guys with that, just my journey and like what we can do with the kids, give some ideas, and just to really think about them because they're really important. And it's our actions that determine their behavior and what they do. So with that, sending each and every one of you love and light. Please don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody who's really sincerely helped me out. I'm not out of the woods just yet. I have a few days and it's just a trickle. But I really want to thank everybody who's helped me and contributed to my survival for real. I would love to make this a full-time job. I still need to have a job. I still need income. It's, again, things are not cheap. I'm, going to be okay, but that doesn't last. Things don't last forever, right? So I really want to thank everybody sincerely. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.